Okay, let's get started. Welcome to everybody. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are. I know we've got some guests joining us from the US, so welcome. It's a gloomy day here in Sydney, but we are still very happy with it. So welcome to our webinar. What we're going to do today is show you some practical applications of where Decidr AI is adding value today. Our aim is to showcase Decidr AI where it's solving some very specific business problems, and our aim is to get across the message that can be applied to your business, whatever vertical you're in. We have these conversations every single day with businesses across different verticals, which we'll get into. The two things: what data do you have, and what are your common business problems, challenges, bottlenecks? And we match those two things together, and we build solutions for businesses. So I will start by talking about this digital divide, which we see every single day. We see it here in Australia. We have some tangible numbers about it in Australia, but we've spoken to our counterparts in the US and Europe as well, who we're very close to, and the same thing is happening everywhere. And that is on one side of the divide. Lots and lots of people on a daily basis using AI products, retail products, largely things like ChatGPT, Gemini, etc. And they're using it because they know it can add productivity or value to their work function. But however, on the other side of the divide, you've got businesses that are not AI ready at the organization level, and that's where we sit. So there is that divide in the middle, and that's kind of where we're adding value. And we do that by understanding what data businesses have got, and we understand what challenges and problems that they've got, and we match those two things together to match to basically fill that divide. We are at the organization level, at the business level. So let's get into what we're going to talk about today. We're going to go through two businesses. We're going to talk, one is Edible Beauty, which is an established business, e-commerce business, with multiple data assets, silos, systems, if you like. And we're going to talk about how our conversational agent, Ava, is adding value to that business today. And we're going to talk about another business called Rigel Wolf, and we're going to show how Decidr AI is adding value there as well. Rigel Wolf is an AI first business, so it's quite exciting. It's a first business that's built AI ground up with artificial intelligence at the heart of it, and we're going to show some specific examples of how Decidr AI is adding value to that business. So we're at both ends of the scale. We work with established businesses and we work with startups as well. So two businesses at both ends of the scale. So some of you may have been present at our Discovery Day we had back in October. That was our theoretical approach, I think, our brand launch, talking about why we do what we do. Today is the practicality of what we do and how we solve businesses on a daily basis. So let me just spend 1 minute talking about what Decidr is conceptually and what we do and how we differentiate ourselves. So importantly, at Decidr, we're building AI organizations, and our proposition is an AI operating system. Now, what that means is a platform for your business that's adding value into multiple areas. Very common. A lot of the retail AI products we see are very specific, are very siloed on solving one specific problem. We are at the operation system level and adding value across the whole business, whether that's front of office, customers facing applications, and we'll see some of those today. Operations, and that could be supply chain, that could be lots of data, that could be lots of analytics. And then back of office, which is repetitive tasks, invoicing, accounts payable, etc. Our platform sits across everything, and we add value across the whole business. So it's an AI operating system. I think the point is there's lots of similarities in businesses. They all need help with lots of different things. We see lots of commonality in business challenges, repetition, manual tasks, etc. We have these conversations every single day, and that's actually how we start an engagement with a customer. So we're going to go through 3 questions you will see on your screen as we work through this as well. This is just our way to collect some information from you. Just answer those very quickly, one click. We do have a Q&A section at the end. Please ask questions as we go. You will have lots of questions, I'm sure. If we don't get to your question, I promise you we will get back to you and we will find you that answer, because I'm sure that it's a burning question or a burning issue for you. So please ask questions as we go. We are collating them as we speak, and then at the end we will get to the ones that are the most topical, the ones that are the top, the ones that are the most common. If we don't get to your answer, we will follow up, we promise. So without further ado, let me transition to our first business example, and I'm going to introduce Anna Mitzios. Anna is the founder of Edible Beauty. She's also the managing director of Edible Beauty and she's also a naturopath. So we're wearing quite a few hats. And Anna's going to take you through our conversational agent called Ava. Some of you may have seen this from our Discovery Day, but it has evolved quite a lot and it will continue to evolve, which is very exciting. But importantly, Ava is on the website. It's adding value today. And Anna's going to talk through how that works and what it looks like and show you some real examples. So without further ado, over to you, Anna.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Duncan. I'm super excited to be able to show you the benefits of Decidr technology on our website. As a bit of background, I know Duncan's touched on it, but Edible Beauty is an established business. I founded the business over 10 years ago, and we have a really unique selling point in that we provide ultra pure skincare and wellness formulas. We really focus on holistic skin health, as well as very innovative ingredients and formulations. The majority of our revenue does come from e-commerce. We have a very mature and super sophisticated audience when it comes to ingredients and formulations. So I must admit, and I'll be fully transparent here, when I did start talking to Paul and David earlier in the year, it would have been about mid-year, I was really concerned about some of the things that we're all concerned about when it comes to AI technology. A few of those specific issues that I had were that we're a very niche brand. We have a very personalized approach to what we do. And I felt that using AI technology was something that would strip this away. There's always that perception of that machine-based or tech-based experience when it comes to AI. I also was concerned about our brand. I really wanted to preserve the brand strongly. I felt that AI may really sort of provide a different user experience to that which we wanted to portray, and that it didn't reflect our brand personality and identity. And one of my major concerns was that AI would just not have that technical expertise, that Decidr Technologies just wouldn't know as much as what I do and my team does about our ingredients and our formulas and skin health, and be able to provide that expertise that I would expect that was accurate for our customers. However, on the flip side, as we're all embracing AI technology, I did understand that this using AI was specifically very important to our business because we have low resources, we have a low headcount, trying to wear many hats in the business, and as a result of that, needing all of that support we can from all angles. As a team, we have low technical expertise, so we're not able to create an app like this. And also, we are very focused on capturing customer data. We do this through one-off surveys about having something that was always on, that customers could have available, that was capturing that data, that we could then use for market segmentation was really of interest and importance to us as well. So let's dive right in. We've got a live demo that we're going to showcase for you, which is always really exciting. And we're going to touch on all of these points and show that basically all of these concerns that I did have were alleviated and fairly quickly, I must say. So Ava starts off with a very conversational tone. She's very friendly, which reflects our brand. It's fantastic. So she asked for our name, and we type in Anna, and now she's going to come up with some options for us. And already we're alleviating that concern around personalization because she's actually offering a personalized skin quiz consult that she guides people through, and a discount to undertake that. But she's also recommending that people can book in a consultation with me, which is a one-on-one. So already we're getting that customized experience with Ava. So we're going to showcase the third function in a moment, but we're going to ask her a question, which is the fourth option here. And our customers' concerns are mainly around anti-aging. So we're going to ask her for what product she recommends for anti-aging. And let's just see what she recommends here. As I mentioned, this is a live demo, so we've got really no control over what she does say. But she's brilliant. She's recommended a bundle, which is fantastic because it's increasing our average order value. It's our best-selling anti-aging product, and she then explains how that addresses the concern the customer has. So we're just going to go a level deeper, and we're going to ask her now if there's a specialized serum that we can use alongside this set. And I'm hoping she mentions our booster serum. We've got many serums and oils in the range, but let's just see what she comes up with. And I always cross my fingers here, but she doesn't get it wrong. So she's recommended the plant collagen plumping serum, which is fantastic. That's the serum I was hoping she'd answer for. And she then tells us why this is a serum that we can use, again, to address that anti-aging concern. Now we're going to actually ask her a little bit more about the active ingredients in this product. And as I mentioned, that level of accuracy, we've alleviated that concern. We want her to showcase a technical expertise around the formulations and see if she can identify those active ingredients which we would want a customer to know about. So we'll see what she comes up with here. Fantastic. She's identified those active ingredients. She's pulled them out. As you can see, Ava is very quick. She learns very fast. I must admit, I was surprised by how quickly she came up to speed. The more you throw at her, the more she learns quickly, which is great. So we're going to go again deeper. We're going to ask her about the collagen amino acids, just to ask her about the clinical studies, because as I mentioned, our customers have that technical knowledge around skincare and they're very sophisticated, and we want her to demonstrate that she knows about those clinical studies, which can definitely get someone over the line. What I didn't touch on, just a point, was that you can see when she recommended the bundle itself, there was an add to cart function, which is fantastic because it makes that insight user experience seamless. It really aids conversion, and it's wonderful to be able to have that facility within this chat function. So going back to the active studies, and she's definitely been accurate here with listing those studies out. Again, this level of data and intelligence is really phenomenal for us as a business. So we're going to actually now ask her another question which touches on that sensitivity that we may have around AI, and do we know that Decidr and AI technology will be able to understand parameters around how much information that can provide? So we're going to ask her about having a wound on our skin, can we apply a skincare product? And she's fantastic. Ava always knows her limitations. She says that there is a concern around this, and then she mentions that we should consult a healthcare professional, which is great. One of the things as an e-commerce business we always want to do is get a customer over the line when it comes to a purchase. So we're going to go in and ask her if there's firstly, any promotional codes that we can use to purchase this product. So let's ask her if there's any promo codes available, because we all want to get that discount, especially at this time of year. So this code is actually live. You'll be able to use this code when it pops up. So we can program Ava to actually promote and facilitate conversion with various codes to get that customer over the line, which is fantastic. And there you go. So if you haven't done your Christmas shopping, we've got a code live for you. It's webinar 30. Please hop onto the site and shop our pure natural skincare products with this code. One of the other things that we're often worried about when it comes to using AI as a brand is the AI technology and Decidr going to be loyal to us? So we're going to ask her about Go-To Skincare. So we'll just put a question in there and we'll say that we love Go-To Skincare. How are we different, or how are we better? And something that always really impresses me about Ava is the fact that she is very brand loyal. She's very polite and friendly. She's not dismissive of other brands. And so you see her response here. She doesn't dismiss Go-To Skincare, but she really understands the brand, and she's listing out here our unique selling points. And they're all on point. They are all correct. So that's fantastic to have that very brand loyal customer service person that's always on our site. So we're going to show you now just another feature, which is fantastic about Ava, and its ability to track an order. So we're going to give her an order number and ask, well, she's going to actually ask for our order number and our email. and she will very quickly provide us with tracking information. So this demonstrates really the ability for AI Decidr technology to incorporate so many different apps in one, which I think is revolutionary. We've got our customer service inbox or Shopify inbox. You might be using something like Gorgeous on your Shopify site, being taken care of by Ava. We've got our product question and answer app, again, being incorporated into Ava. We've also got our skin quiz questionnaire, which was, a separate app, again, part of this. And then we've got the ability for Ava to aid that conversion and insight experience, and also provide information for customers that is more in depth than any of those apps could provide. And for me, this is revolutionary. We really want to be able to create a seamless experience for our customers, but also to make our life easier when it comes to using Shopify and apps, and AI technology does exactly that. So I hope this demonstration has really shown you some of those important features and alleviate some of those concerns around using something like Ava technology on, or AI Decidr technology on your website. I must say we've been particularly impressed by the experience of using this technology on our site.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you very much. A very honest and transparent view of the perceived challenges of AI. Look, we have these conversations every single day with C-suite executives, particularly in relation to e-commerce. And we hear things around knowledge, basically concerns around knowledge. Does AI know enough? Is it going to know enough to be able to engage with customers accurately? We have a lot of concerns around trust, which is a big one. Will AI know its limitations? And there are limitations. I mean, I'm a regular user and a customer of Edible Beauty. I told Ava I was allergic to turmeric, and guess what? I don't get suggested products that have turmeric in them. So you can imagine that is quite a mild allergen, but there would be some that are more serious and more severe with other businesses. So trust is a big one. AI can know enough. It does know its limitations. Accuracy is another big one as well. Will it be saying the right things? Will AI be saying the right things to my customer? A, about the product range, but B, about the business, tone of voice, on brand, etc. They're all things that can be learned. They're all things that can be uploaded into the knowledge base, if you like. And personalization is a big one as well. Will Ava be friendly? Will AI be friendly? Will it be friendly in terms of what we as a business think is friendly? Because some businesses have different tone of voices. So as you can see, the answers to all of those and all those concerns is yes in relation to Ava. Ava is very specific to Edible Beauty, but it can be molded to any business essentially. And I think just jog your memory about e-commerce virtual assistants. I mean, I have used many and still use many today. What usually happens when there is an issue, when there is a problem, is you'll get bombarded with products. You'll get a message to say, please reach out to the team. In other words, I'm stuck. I can't help. I don't know what to do. Please send us an email. And Ava doesn't do that. She doesn't get stuck. She's intelligent. She's nuanced. And with this add to cart function, which is a new evolution, it's getting the right product in front of the right customer and getting them to convert quicker, which is what it's about. This is goal-orientated AI, and that's what Ava is doing. So she works. She's doing a much better job of capturing email addresses, and she's doing a much better job of converting. And they're the two goals of Ava when we set this up. That's what Anna wanted, and that's what we delivered. So we have released some numbers publicly, and we like to talk about tangible numbers. We're quite obsessed with metrics. We're quite obsessed with adding value and performance. In the range of orders, Ava is 2.5x higher. There's your second question on the screen. If you just want to answer with one click, sorry, so we can collect some information on where you guys are at. Yeah, so in terms of orders, 2.5x versus the previous. There was a previous skin quiz chat version on the website. So Ava is way beyond that, and its conversion is 2.5x what that previously was. Email capture is 81% higher, so we've got these tangible numbers. Email is the most valuable channel for this business. So one of the goals of Decidr AI in the back end is to capture email addresses and is to convert, and it's doing it, and it's doing it at scale. It's 24/7. It's basically a scaled version of Anna. I'm not drumming down Anna, but Anna is a healthcare professional at the end of the day. She's also running a business. So we've introduced a natural language, intelligent sales agent to that business that can manage the sales conversations and convert customers at a higher rate. And very exciting thing is that now, very, very shortly, Ava will be available on the Shopify App Store. So that means that Ava could be used by any global e-commerce business using the Shopify platform. The functionality is not obviously not just limited to Shopify. Any business e-commerce, and if you are an e-commerce business and you're not on Shopify, reach out to us. We can explain easily how that can be applied to your platform, whether that's WordPress, Magento, or others. But we're excited that it will be launched on the App Store, Shopify App Store, very shortly, and that will enable us to scale, and that will enable it to add lots of value to lots of other businesses in whatever vertical they're in. So thank you, Anna. Thank you, Edible Beauty. So now we are going to transition to our second business, Rigel Wolf. And this is a financial services business. This is a business that we've built ourselves. And we're going to show you 3 more very practical examples of how Decidr AI is adding value to that business. And I think as we move through, the aim is to illustrate how the platform is adding value to Rigel Wolf, but there's an implied message that these things can be molded, shaped, etc., to your business, whatever vertical you're in. And we'll start talking about some different verticals later on. But in relation to Warwick Rigel Wolf with a specific business, we're going to talk about content generation and how it generates content at speed and at scale. We're going to talk about search and how it can interact with a prospect and turn them into a customer. And we're going to talk about search. We're going to talk about how Decidr AI can be used on top of a business to help internal people find information that they currently can't find. So I think the aim here is an illustration of some of these things. We talk about these things and these questions and these challenges with businesses every single day across a range of verticals. And they're things like, my customers have problems finding the right products. We saw that with Edible Beauty. We'll see it again now with the service-based industry. My internal team cannot find the right information within a business. Think about all the policies and procedures, all that documentation in your business that maybe some of your team members are struggling to find. We're going to illustrate how that can be demonstrated and how it can be found at speed and at scale, and not just a specific policy, but a very specific answer to a very specific question. And I think the third one is things around, we can't generate marketing content fast enough. Maybe we don't have an FTE that generates content. We might want to put one on, but is there an application that can actually do this at speed and at scale? So they are very common things that we hear from the business community when we engage with them, and that's what we're going to talk through now. So let me just give you a little bit of background on Rigel Wolf. This is our own business. This is our very own AI organization, essentially, and that's what we do, and that's what our proposition is, building AI organizations. So this is what we've done. We've built one, and this is it. So Rigel Wolf is a financial services business. We've engineered it ourselves, and we've got Decidr AI at the heart of it. And this is what we talk about, that proposition of an operating system. This has a Decidr AI operating system in the back of it. We're going to show you 3 practical examples of AI, but there are many more. So there is a range of services that Rigel Wolf offer: tax advice, wealth advisory, other parts of other products that are in the financial services. And we've built AI at the heart of it to address key issues around generating content for that business, giving team members the ability to search for information, finding information within the business, and a sales consultant as well, of how it converts a prospect to a customer. So let's go through our first example, and we're going to speak first about content generation. So we're on the Rigel Wolf website on the homepage, and our marketing team member, Carol, she wants to generate some content. Part of her role is content generation, as well as a bunch of other things in marketing. So she wants to generate a blog post for the website. She's quite specific about what she wants, and we'll speak a little bit about, she can not be specific. She can be quite general, but we're going to go into a very specific example. She wants to generate some content for the blog post. She knows there's an interesting topic that will keep people engaged. Part of her job is to drive traffic to the website, but also engage that traffic, reduce bounce rates, etc. And she wants to boost SEO as well. So she navigates to blog on the website, and she's now Carol is now interacting with the Decidr AI agent that's adding value in the area of an AI consultant, if you like. So she's basically being asked questions. Carol has been asked questions by the AI agent, and they are things like topic. What topic would you like to create some content on today, Carol? And Carol wants to talk about the tax implications of R&D rebate in Australia. It sounds quite boring, but it's actually very, very interesting, I promise. And lots of things you could do with it. There are questions around blog post, the size, the article type. Carol wants to create a blog post, but she could create another piece of content that could be used for another purpose, but she specifically wants a blog post. Size is very important. She might want 500 words. She might want 1,000 words. She might want 1,500 words. Again, that size could be different for a blog post, could be different for an EDM, could be different for some other things. And she gets asked about what research method she wants to use. You can see that the agent has then generated some content around the tax implications of R&D in Australia. And this is where the magic is. This is where the value is for Carol. She's now been moved from being a writer of that content to being an editor of that content. So it's in a draft format right now. The agent has given her a draft format, asked if Carol wants to see a draft format. She said yes. We're not letting the machine run wild. We're not letting it publish. We are basically speeding up the process of writing. Carol is editing. Carol is verifying. She's checking numbers. She's checking spelling. She's checking lots of things. She might want to get another team member in the business to check that because there might be some specific legal pieces in there. So she's basically verifying. She's editing. And that's what we have done. We've moved Carol to higher order work. She's moved from being a writer and she's now an editor of that content, which is very, very important for something like R&D and tax, which might have legal verification requirements, for example. So there's obviously SEO components of this as well. Carol's specifically asked to put some specific keywords into this article, which is very important for SEO. She knows that she wants to drive more organic traffic to the website. So she's simply verifying. She's spending quite a bit of time verifying. That's the important part of Carol's role. That's where her value is. Her value is in not necessarily writing this content. We've removed that from her. Her value is in checking it, verifying it. And she can see she's looking at the conclusion. She's looking at the references. And now she's going back to the agent. And basically, the agent will ask her, "Are you happy? Would you like to publish?" Carol has checked it. She's happy with it. She's clicked OK. And now that agent has published that additional article to the blog. We will refresh the page and we can see that there is an additional piece of content on that blog page. Previously, there was 4, now there's 5. And you can see understanding the R&D tax implications. It should be the same article as in the draft format, the step before where Carol has checked it. So in a matter of seconds, the article has been generated. There is time to verify it and check it. And there might be some components where Carol will want to check that internally with other people. But you can see at speed and scale, this is Rigel Wolf, this is financial services. You can see how this can be used for your business, whatever vertical you're in, generating content at speed and at scale and moving your team from writing to editing. Very, very valuable. So now let's move to talk about the second example, which is sales, also called AI consultant. And I like to show the example of how Decidr AI, this application, is moving a prospect into being a customer, basically. So very efficient and removing a lot of the need for pre-sales and making it much more efficient and much more productive. So go back to the Rigel Wolf homepage. We click chat to us in middle center. The engagement here now is between the Decidr AI agent for sales and a prospective customer. So you can imagine that prospective customer, perhaps driven to Rigel Wolf through SEM or some other marketing campaign, could be a conversation, could be a piece of PR. They've come to the Rigel Wolf website. They want to know more about products. They click chat with us. They're now engaging with a smart, intelligent, well-trained conversational agent that can turn that prospect into a customer and book a meeting on a specific date and a specific time with someone in your sales team. So the agent starts by verifying, very important piece, verifying who they're speaking to. And then we just go through a bunch of questions, basically. I think the goal here, again, I'll go back to this point about goal-orientated AI. That's what we're doing. We come up with a goal. What are we trying to do? We're trying to increase conversion. We're trying to collect an email address. We're trying to convert a prospect to a customer. This is goal-orientated AI in action. All this data is being collected. We're basically profiling that prospect now. So we're asking questions of my name. You can see me there. I've typed in Duncan Brett. I've said I don't want to give my phone number, which is quite normal. It doesn't trip the agent up, doesn't pass me on to somebody else in the team, doesn't send me a note for an email address, moves on, deals with it, sidesteps that issue and just moves on. And then it starts asking me questions around my business, basically. And they are things around my location of my business, the size of my business, what vertical I'm in. I'm in technology and software. You can see I've written in there what type of corporation I am. How long have I been up and running? Like, these are really, really valuable pieces of information that are now being profiled, are being captured on our end and used to profile that customer. So when we get to the end of this and there is a booking between the sales team and the prospect, that sales team has all that information and they go in fully loaded with lots of ammunition to be able to get to the point very, very quickly, which is, are you ready for this product or service? So I think an important thing to note is, you as a business would have complete autonomy over these questions. We've built this and engineered this for our business, which is Rigel Wolf, which is financial services. But this could be engineering. This could be e-commerce, selling shoes. This could be any kind of business that has a product or has a service, and you now have an issue connecting prospects to those products. So yes, people can go to the website and look through products and services. I personally would rather interact with a natural search agent and ask it questions because I'm very specific about questions, and we can get the answers to those questions very, very clearly, very, very quickly. And as you can see, they're being used to profile that customer. We're now at the point where we're booking time, day, and time of day with a sales team at Rigel Wolf. You can see I'm clicking on 11 a.m. I've clicked on the 18th. I'm choosing a time. I'll change to 10:30. Then the action then is our sales team internally gets a calendar invite. The prospect externally gets a calendar invite. We've now connected a prospect on the website that's been driven through SEM or some other channel to the website. We've answered their questions. We've asked them questions, sorry. We've collected their answers. They've booked a time with our sales team. That sales team now has lots and lots of really useful information. They've profiled the customer already, and we go in with lots of ammunition to try and get to a point, which is a sales point, a lot quicker. So that was our AI sales assistant on the website. What we're now going to do is go into our third example. So we're going to stick with Rigel Wolf, which is our financial services business, and we're going to show you how we use a Decidr AI application for search, essentially. So we're going to use a couple of examples, and I'll talk you through as we demonstrate. So we navigated to the employee portal of Rigel Wolf. So we're now internal team members interacting with Decidr AI application built on Rigel Wolf. This is a Rigel Wolf employee. This is Thomas. And Thomas wants to know lots of things internally about the business. This is connected to the HR portal, but just imagine as you walk through this, this could be connected to all the policies and procedures in the business. This could be connected to trading environment in the business where team members could get questions about top products, top sales, etc. So we'll go into that a little bit later, but let's just use Thomas as an example. He's asking some very specific questions, and we'll talk about some high-level ones, and then we'll go into some detailed ones, which are really, really interesting individually. You can see Thomas has made a recent leave request, and he wants to know if it's been approved. You can imagine these conversations, this environment now in a business is quite clunky, it's quite fragmented, it's quite convoluted. If Thomas wants to find this information about his superannuation, about his leave, he might have to ask one person, two people. Does he get that information straight away? Maybe, maybe not. Does he have to ask 3 or 4 people? Does he have to wait 2 days? Does he have to go into 2, 3 platforms to get different pieces of information? We hear and see these problems and challenges every single day from businesses. So we're using this in the HR environment, but it can use for a bunch of things. So you can see Thomas there has asked about Jasmine's salary. Jasmine is in his team who reports to the same manager. He wants to know what Jasmine earns, and I'm sure we've all had those thoughts about what our colleagues or even our boss earns. That information will not be provided. So there are guardrails around this. You can see from the start, Thomas has logged in as Thomas with that unique code. Thomas cannot request any other information on any other employee because there's guardrails around it. You have complete autonomy about how you would set those up. And we do that in a setup phase. You can imagine a CEO, CFO would have different guardrails to Thomas. And then Thomas starts going into some really specific questions. Salary sacrifice is one, very common here in Australia, where you can sacrifice an additional portion of your salary that goes into your superannuation, or your 401k, as you call it in the US, or your pension, as you guys call it in the UK. But Thomas has got specific questions about it, like what are the implications for me? What are the implications for my salary? What are the tax implications if I do that? If I salary sacrifice X amount, if I salary sacrifice Y amount, what are the implications? So he's got some very specific questions, and you can see the agent is not just giving Thomas the policy and procedure that's in 15 pages so he can read it. The agent is giving Thomas a very specific answer to very specific questions, which is where the value is, right? So as I said back, I've gone through this process before with typical HR platforms. It's clunky, it's fragmented, there's multiple people involved, and I don't get my answer very quickly. Then there's another example about novated lease. So Thomas has learned that there is a benefit part of his employee, which is his ability to have a vehicle, which is novated lease, but he wants to know he wants to know the details about it. He's got some very specific questions. The agent is able to talk about the tax efficiency, the convenience. It's able to tell him the employee responsibilities, what it actually means if he goes down this path and takes out a novated lease through his employer. How do I apply for a novated lease? Again, he's not been surfaced the full policy and procedure. He doesn't really want it yet. He hasn't asked for it. He just wants specific answers to specific questions, and that's what he's getting. So that's a really specific, quite a detailed policy and procedure you can imagine in a business, that the agent is just searching through it, and in seconds it's surfacing a very specific answer to a very specific question around novated lease. Another really interesting example is travel policy. So Thomas is off to San Francisco very shortly. He's got a business trip, and he wants to know whether perhaps he can travel business class or whether he has to travel economy or coach. And businesses would have different policies around this, around the length of the flight if it's over a certain time. So Thomas is asking these. Thomas is also off to Auckland next quarter, and he's doing some sales conversations, and he wants to know, is there specific hotels he has to stay at? Is he going to stick to the rules and regulations within the travel policy? What's his meal allowance? I've been through this myself, many cases where you have to request that information from somebody in HR or your manager. They may not know where it is. If it's in a policy or procedure somewhere and it's part of the knowledge base of Decidr AI, this Decidr AI application, the agent can service it very, very quickly and get hundreds, if not thousands of employees the answer to a very specific question very, very quickly. You can see Thomas has now asked about a wellness policy. So he's heard over coffee with one of his colleagues that Ragal Wolf has a wellness policy. What does that mean? The team member didn't know. So Thomas goes to the AI agent and asks, what does it mean in the wellness policy? Can I have gym membership? What does that mean? What do I get for it? Is there yoga included? Is there Pilates included? Lots of different variances, lots of nuances. If it's all in that document, it's all in that policy, we can surface that information very, very quickly. And then there's an employee assistance program. Thomas may be going through some specific challenges in his personal life, in his professional life, and he wants to know if the business has. This is quite a sensitive conversation. Maybe he doesn't want to have that conversation with his boss, but he can ask the agent if there is an EAP in the business. He needs some help. Maybe that's mental health. Maybe that with his mental health. Maybe it's with something else. The agent can find that information and surface it to him very, very quickly. So a few high-level examples and some very detailed ones. And you can see the concept is basically an AI application sitting on top of all that information that is now in file servers, in SharePoint, in different businesses. I've seen this myself and able to go onto it. So we're going to show so that's Thomas. Thomas was an employee. And now I think is another example just to show you how these guardrails are illustrated or demonstrated. We're going to log in as the CEO. So we're going to log in as Paula. Paula is the CEO of Ragal Wolf, and she is fairly new. And you can imagine any new CEO coming into a business, they're wanting to learn about that business, learn about that team in as quickly a time as possible. That traditionally would have happened with sitting down with the CFO or other people in the business, multiple meetings, multiple emails, multiple requests for information. But, because she's a CEO and she understands that team is the most important part of her role, understanding who they are, what they do, what roles they're in, what departments they're in, she just goes to the Decidr natural search agent and she starts asking questions. She starts saying, what is the headcount of this business, the total number? What is the headcount by position? So she gets a very clear list of positions and then the headcount next to it, which adds up to the total headcount. She wants to know what the total payroll of the business is. Paula has 100% access to everything. That might not be right for your business, completely customizable. And you guys set the guardrails for any of these kind of search products in that setup phase when we work with customers. But Paula has access to everything in the Ragal Wolf scenario. She wants to know who the most paid senior accountant is, and that information is given to her with the number. And she's able to just keep querying that and asking more and more questions until she's at a point where she has the required information on the team. So I think the point is this could be used for a range of examples. We've used HR employee portal because we hear lots and lots of challenges from businesses around team finding information specifically about this. There's some privacy concerns, there's some security. You can see how those have been addressed. Some questions are quite confidential. You can see how those have been addressed as well. You can see that Paula wants to know about the gender distribution in the business, very important thing. This could be a business with thousands of people in it. So that question is answered very, very quickly and very, very efficiently. And then she's gone a bit further and she's asked to get that gender distribution split out by the different roles, and you can see that that information has been surfaced incredibly quick. So her knowledge of the business, of the team, which is she knows is the most important thing for her as she's just started. Her speed of knowledge has just gone through the roof, which is very, very important. She wants to know how many hires she's made totally in 2023, and you can give that. And then you see she's asked a very specific question about somebody's manager, and she's able to get that information. So, as I was saying before, this is a HR employee portal example. Imagine this being used for an executive dashboard on the trading environment of the business. Imagine this being used for a CS team, for example, 100 people on the phone. Those people are calling in and asking questions about the business. That team member on the phone can't get the policy and procedure answer really, really quickly. That call might take 7 minutes instead of 1 minute or 30 seconds. This natural search agent that sits on top of all the information in the business, and that team member being able to search it, or that executive being able to search it. What were my top products the last 10 days? What were the margin of those products in the last 10 days? The underlying data is there. Everything starts with data. Data is the fuel for AI. A natural agent search can surface that information incredibly quickly and give people either the power to address a customer service question quickly, or the knowledge just to make a decision. So in summary, there's 3 examples there. Rigel Wolf is our own AI organization. We've built it from the bottom up. We've built it with from the bottom up with AI at the heart of it. It is an AI organization, the first AI organization. And we've shown you 3 specific examples addressing 3 of probably the most common issues, problems, bottlenecks we see in businesses around search, around conversion, around content generation. There are others, and we'll talk a little bit about this, I'm hoping, in the question section, but there are others. These are applications that come out of the box with the platform. What you're getting is subscription to a platform that is building an AI organization, and it's an operating system for your business. So there were the 3 examples specific to Rigel Wolf. What we're going to do now is we're going to go into Q&A. I think firstly, you want to reach out to our team, you want to speak to somebody one-on-one. That's what we want to do. We want to hear from you. We want to answer any questions we don't answer in this next session. We will get them to you. QR code on the screen, please scan. That will book a date and time with our team member, and they can explain how some of this can be manipulated, specifically applied to your business. 3rd question on the screen there, when you've got time to answer it, just 1 click. But we will go into questions, and we've been collating. Thank you for those who answered questions. If you've got a burning question, you haven't managed to answer it, please reach out to us. We will get the answer to it. If we don't answer your questions that have been coming through in this session, we will reach out to you. We will get you that answer. We do like talking about this stuff, and we do like answering questions. So let's just go through the first question. So, okay, which customer segments does Decidr work with? So I'll take segment as category or vertical. I think that means the same thing. So I won't name them all, but the most common ones are retail, recruitment, hospitality. We have specific cases in those. Marketing, healthcare, legal. There are others, but I won't name them all just for time. But I think the breadth of those speaks to the point I made at the very start, which is a lot of the problems we see in businesses are common across vertical, whether they are. The conversations we have in healthcare, some of those questions are the same, repetition. We have problems with duplication as they are in the retail space. Those verticals are quite different when you think about it. But actually, when you think about the knowledge task environment of it, when you think about how goal-orientated AI can add value, it is the same across verticals. So they're the ones we're big in. Everything, I'll make that point again, everything starts with what data do you have and what are your common problems, challenges, bottlenecks. We match those three things together, and we go from there. Second question, can you see some use cases? Okay, I think that's related to the first question, but I think it's going a level below, which is like speak about some specific use cases where Decidr is adding value today. Yes, certainly. Look, edible beauty, conversion. I'll talk about conversion generation and the metrics that touches. We're obsessed with tangibility, proving the value. Metrics on conversion generation, you're talking about the ability to scale. You're talking about adding productivity. On lead generation, which is what what the AI consultant version of Raga Wolf can do is probably cost per acquisition. That can significantly lower your cost per acquisition. And that's what we're doing today. That's what we're adding value today. Businesses spending millions of dollars generating leads to a website, but then not dealing with them efficiently on the website. And that's what we can do. I think on the small business end, which is what we operate with, it's probably, I can't afford this FTE, but I want that function. I want to do content generation. I want to do, but I can't afford the FTE. On the more established business end, I think it's repetition, paperwork, automating knowledge tasks. AI can help with all of those things, and that's where we add value today. We are running out of time, I'm being told. Let me just answer one more. Okay, so what are the next steps? What are the next steps? Yeah, look, reach out to us, book some time in, and we'd love to talk to you. Oh, sorry, one more question that I would love to get to. What makes Decidr unique? Okay, what makes Decidr unique is that we are an AI operating system for your business. I think the analogy I'd like to use is when you buy a new shiny iPhone, a new Apple iPhone, okay? And when you open that phone and you start it, it comes with a preloaded operating system with preloaded apps that can help you with things. They can help you with make phone calls. It can help you with calendar, book meetings because it's got a calendar on it. It comes with preloaded apps. But there are also other applications that you can add to that operating system that help you with a bunch of things throughout your day. That's what we do. The Decidr platform comes with preloaded apps that help you solve a bunch of issues, and we've shown some of those today, but there is complete autonomy to add other applications that can help specific bespoke things for your business. And they're the conversations we like to have, and they're the conversations that we want to have. So I am being reliably informed we're out of time. Look, a big one for me is, look, thank you for joining. As I said, in October, we spoke about a lot of the theory of why we do what we do. Today, we spoke about the practicality of what we're doing and where we're adding value. And that's what we're obsessed with. We're obsessed with insights, we're obsessed with adding value, and we're obsessed with proving the tangibility of some of those things that we do. And we have some really, really obvious examples how we're doing that. If you want to hear more, reach out to us. Decidr is making it easy to future-proof your business. That's the last comment I will make. And we want to hear more from you. If we didn't answer your question, we will get it answered, I promise. And please reach out to us, and thank you for your time wherever you are. Thank you.